Greetings, I'm Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator, today with Pillar Love's Tabletop Games. If you remember my series from way back called Fake It Until I Remake It, well, they remade it. Been waiting for this for a while now. It's nice to see Container available once again. If you missed the Fake It Until I Remake It episode, let's go ahead and cover the basics of the game. You'll start with 20 bucks in cash, represented with cards. You'll start with your secret scoring card. You'll start with a warehouse, a random factory, and a container on your $2 space. And you'll have your boat out in the ocean. And on your turn, you can spend money to build a new factory of a type that you don't have. You can build a harbor warehouse to expand your storage capacity. You can produce, pay $1 to the player on your right, and every factory you have will make one container. You can reprice your containers as you see fit. You just cannot produce more containers than you can hold, which is double your factories. You can buy someone else's containers from their factories by paying their price here and then moving it to your warehouse. You're limited to a number of containers equal to the number of warehouses you have. You can sell your boat into the harbor and pay them money to load up the containers. Your ships have a limit of 5. And then you can you can sell from ocean to harbor to ocean to the island. And when you go to the island, everyone else is going to bid. And you can either accept the highest bid plus a subsidy from the bank, or pay the money out of your own pocket and buy it for yourself. Either way, it goes to whoever actually paid for it. And what you're trying to do is make sure you get at least one of each color, but you're trying to make the lower value container the most common on your space at the end, because all your common stuff gets discarded. And then the game ends when 2 of the 5 colors of containers run out. At the end of that turn, you'll score based on where'd it go? Based on your scoring card. You'll get $3 for anything you still have left on your boat. $2 for anything you have left in your warehouses and nothing left in your factories. You'll have to pay off any unpaid loans. And then most money left wins. Other stuff that'll happen in the game, you might need to take out a loan. You'll immediately take $10. And then at the start of your turn, the first thing you have to do is pay loan interest, just 1. And then after you've done that, you can pay $10 to return the loan. If you can't pay off the loan, you can take a second loan to at least cover your interest. But once you have 2 loans and you can't pay at all, the bank starts taking your containers. Starting with Container Island, your ship, your offshore bank, the offshore bank, the harbor district, the factory district. So try to be careful with your money. So this being the newer implementation of the game, what else is happening with container. So we've got this offshore island. At the start of the game, 3 random containers out of 5 will be distributed so that 2 go in space 1, 1 goes in space 2, the rest go back to the starting selection. There will be a number of containers at the start of the game based on number of players and how long of a game you want to have. This game actually includes 20 containers of each color, which corrects the issue that apparently the last time they tried to remake it happened. You'll start the game with 2 bluff cards. You can place them face down in front of you when you're putting down your bid to make it look like you're bidding more money than you really are. But you gotta be fast, because if you're trying to intimidate people and like looking at what number of cards you're putting down, then you want to be having your bid down first so that other people see it and think, oh wait, I should rethink this. The offshore island thing is gives you a way to either get spend bid money to get containers and then pick them up from here with your boat, or give up or sell containers from your factory and warehouse to get money. In a 5-player game, both of these options are open. With 3 or 4 players, only one of the 2 can be active at a time. So let's say you're going to buy containers. You'll take money from your hand. You'll put it here on the tile. You put the tile in front of you, and you'll put this on what you're going to bid on. Whoever outbids you, they'll put their money there instead. You'll get your money back. If it comes back around to the player who is currently holding it, then they will get what they're bidding on. If you're bidding containers, you'll have to note on your own board with these little reserve tokens where it's coming from, because they'll still occupy your space and affect your ability to store anything. Now, when they come back, you can reprice them. That's another thing you can do as an action, is just reprice. Choose your warehouses or choose your factories and just rearrange the prices of all your stuff. Also something that, let's see here. When you're selling containers, you'll pick the amount of money you're trying to get for it. Here. So depending on the auction determines how things get distributed. If you're spending money on containers, the money gets distributed $1 at a time, skipping over any auction token there. If you're selling containers for money, the containers will be distributed 1 at a time, skipping over an auction if someone's got one there. You can still automatically buy when you get to someone else's harbor, or automatically pick up when you get to your offshore island any containers that you had won with a previous auction there. And that seems to be it. It's aside from this, it's still pretty much the classic container, and in fact it includes the classic game variant of leave out the offshore island, leave out the bluff cards, And it's a far more challenging experience because this this gives you something to work with if maybe you can't sell your containers or if you've got some excess money that, hey, I really do need to want to pick up these containers. It adds an extra element of doing things in the game, which is nice. But at least you can still play the classic mode if you're feeling nostalgic for that. But what if you want more containers to work with? Well, you pick up more containers, which adds some more fun stuff. Um, the big thing is going to be the player trucks. So they remembered to add the expansion stuff on the flip side. Alright. So, at the start of the game, there'll be truck companies. They will start out independent, and whenever you do a factory purchase, which is pull from someone's factory and add it to your warehouse, you will have to pay $1 to your truck company. If nobody currently owns the truck company, it gets added to the left of the board. Now, it's possible to own a truck company by doing an auction the same way things are done here. You can either do cash or you can do containers, and then anyone trying to outbid has to follow that same currency of cash or containers. But you'll place your marker on the company you want to own and place your bid and take the tile. Someone outbids, they take the tile, you get your original bid back. And if you start the turn holding the tile, then you'll win that auction. I believe that stuff gets distributed to the offshore board as normal. Yeah. Yeah, following the normal rules. So containers will go here, cash will go out there. And you'll place your truck on there. So, let's say Orange won the bid. So they get to take the money. And now every time I ship, I have to pay that $1 to Orange. It's entirely possible that you own your own truck company. That means you don't have to pay, period. At most, you can own 3 truck companies, and each company can only have one owner. But yeah, any money that was still there goes to the player that won the auction. Alright. Player loans are now a thing. Instead of going through the bank, you request a loan. In order to do this, you say, any opponent who has at least 10 in hand can offer to give you one. If at least one opponent offers you a loan, you cannot take a bank loan this turn. You can only choose to accept a player loan or decline to take any loans this turn. And they count towards your loan of 2. Each player can offer up to 3 loans to other players. You can accept the player loan, or if none of the players are willing to offer a loan, then you'll get the loan from the bank instead. And again, when you pay interest, if you pay interest and you have a player loan, the interest goes to that player. It's entirely possible for 2 opponents to say, "Hey, we're both offering you a loan." and they have to do an incentive auction. So in addition to the 10, they'll secretly bid an amount of cash from their own hand. Whoever does higher, um, you'll get that additional incentive on top of the $10. However, you'll need to take the same amount of cash from the supply and put it underneath the loan because you're going to have to pay that back too. You also have the option to just reject all the loans this turn. The sneaky way of getting an idea of what kind of money people have to work with. And of course, you can also use your bluff cards as part of the incentive bid, just to make your opponent flinch and bid more than they were expecting. If you default, though, that player can choose a container on any location of yours and take it, or they can forgive your unpaid interest for this turn. You have the chance of dealing with someone who's a little bit merciful and understanding, as opposed to the bank. But you're going to want to have to plead your case in order to make it clear, hey, if I don't have something to work with here, I'm pretty much screwed. And trying to produce anything to get out of this hole. Alright. It's possible to have both a bank loan and another player loan. If you default on both of them, the player resolves their loan first, then the bank. Two different players' loans, you start clockwise. If you can afford to pay interest on one of the two, choose which one to play and then default on the other. After you default, you still keep your loan cards, you still have to pay interest on them as normal. And finally, because this was the big thing that missed out of the expansion from the older version of the game, luxury containers. Yeah, they're actually metal. Here. Yeah. 10 of them, and by adding them into the game, it means there will be less normal containers to work with. Unless you want to experiment with the super long game of container. But by adding the 10 gold containers, it reduces the extended experience down by about a third. Yeah. On your turn, as a free action, you can return any two containers from one district on your board to the supply to take a luxury container. It goes to the same district you removed containers from. So if you had two in your factory, it goes to your factory. Two in your warehouse, goes to your warehouse. It can be priced, purchased, and delivered as normal. It still counts as one container, with the exception of bank auctions. Each gold container you place on the bid tile counts as 1.5 normal containers. So you can now bid an opponent with the same number of containers as long as you bid at least one more gold. If the supply runs out of gold containers, it does count as one of the two to end the game. When you reveal your final scoring card, choose one normal container color, and all your gold containers count. But if it means making that color common, then it makes them worthless. So you gotta plan wisely to make use of it. And that's pretty much it. That is the base game experience plus the expansion. And I am excited to have this game remade, all the new stuff. Apparently this is from the anniversary edition. All the weird the player loans and luxury containers of the expansion, and then the trucking company craziness. But what I really like about this is the price. Go ahead, take a moment, go look up on eBay what older edition of this game is. Especially the expansion. What I paid for this game before local sales taxes, $40 for the base game, $20 for the expansion. $60 for a 5-player game with a lot of stuff to work with that I'm probably going to get a lot of mileage out of. Because I freaking love this game. I love Container, I love the business aspect of it. I love that this exists to help keep things from getting too difficult. I appreciate they still include the classic rules anyway. I'm glad that they remembered to have 20 freaking containers of each of the colors. Because I don't know what they were thinking with only 10 for the previous edition. I appreciate that the colors are a little bit more distinctive instead of 3 shades of brown for half of them. Or 2 shades of brown and 1 orange. And then white and black. The ships are easier to tell apart too. There's no bluish white and light blue to get confused. They're pretty easy to tell apart. The pieces look great. Like, they look really, really nice. Even the plastic containers. Even the wooden warehouses look cool. The factories all look interesting. They look way better than the, classic game. The luxury containers being metal is a nice touch. It's like, they really did great with this. And for $60, totally worth it. Container. And more containers. A base game, an expansion, together comprehensive game for 3 to 5 players in less than 2 hours. Enjoy the crazy business of this game because it's gonna get interesting. All right, thanks for watching. Pillar Nexus. Very happy to see one of the games I've been wanting to see remade finally get remade. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.